Okay, next up is Kristin McJunkins. She is probably a familiar face to some in the audience, as been a seasoned volunteer with NPAF for some time and is back for Story Slams. So Kristin, take it away.
Thank you, Jamie. Hi, everyone. I'm Kristin McJunkins, and I was fortunate to be at the last in-person in 2019, the NPAF event. So it's really exciting to be back again. So in the spring of 2008, at age 38, I was diagnosed with stage 3 melanoma, which is the malignant form of skin cancer. I work at a university that has a hospital system, so I was very fortunate that my care was well coordinated between my provider and the insurance company because I was completely clueless how to navigate this process. However, in recent years, I've also come to learn that the healthcare system is predicated on the assumption that patients have people who will care for them, into appointments, and help them make decisions. As I've gotten older, I've learned this support is not readily available for many people, including myself at certain times. I've lived in Connecticut for 17 years, and my mother lived in Rhode Island. When I was going through my cancer treatment, I was fortunate that she was in a position to take time away from work to help me after my surgeries and accompany me to doctor's appointments. She was my emergency contact and would be able to make decisions for me if I was incapable of doing so. I was grateful that I could be that same support for her 10 years later when she went through her own cancer journey of an aggressive lymphoma for 18 months. Sadly, my mom succumbed to her disease in December 2017. In the years since that time, as a single person with no immediate family in the area, my most stressful times in the healthcare system are when I need basic things such as a ride home from a colonoscopy or someone to stay with me for a few days after a minor procedure. I have friends and neighbors, certainly, but they have responsibilities and lives to tend to. So it's, challenging sometimes to feel like you're being a burden to others. One of my closest single friends, Michelle, lives in Pennsylvania, and she helped me tremendously the year after my mom died. It was 2018, and most of my year was dedicated to the details of handling my mom's estate. A topic as complicated as the healthcare system, I might add. Throughout the year, I was having significant female issues, and one of the main recommendations from my providers was to have a hysterectomy. I was still grieving my mother, hadn't yet changed her name as my emergency contact, and certainly couldn't wrap my head around a major surgery and staying out of work for 6 weeks with no one at home to assist me. After trying several medications with varying degrees of success, my OBGYN suggested I speak with an interventional radiologist about the possibility of a much less invasive procedure. I met with the surgeon and he said I was a good candidate, but warned me that if it wasn't successful, then I would have to consider the hysterectomy. The surgery would take place on a Thursday, to which I took a ride share to the hospital. I'd stay overnight in the hospital and I would just need to find a ride home on Friday. I had no physical limitations except not lifting heavy things or driving for a few days, but otherwise no major care was needed. About a week before the procedure, I was telling Michelle the details, and knowing my stress of finding somebody to assist me, her response was, "I'm driving to the hospital Friday morning. I'll pick you up and I'll stay with you for a couple of days and just work from there." Michelle has a large extended family in Pennsylvania, but also understands the challenges of living alone and often having to handle things on your own. I know I could have found somebody closer to give me a ride home from the hospital, but the relief that flooded through me when she made that offer was just one of sheer gratitude, particularly since it was only a year since my mom had died. For the past several years, I've sat on a variety of advocacy panels to provide the patient point of view when talking about the healthcare system. People need access to care, which I am very fortunate to have, But people also need providers to take time to understand individual situations so the best care plan can be implemented. In this complicated tapestry of healthcare, trust is the delicate thread that binds patients to providers, enabling a relationship built on transparency, empathy, and shared decision-making. Yet, this thread is often strained, frayed, or even severed due to myriad of experiences that contribute to a sense of mistrust in the healthcare system. As the demographic shifts leads to an increasing aging population, and families find themselves much more geographically dispersed these days, it's imperative to reevaluate care models to accommodate diverse personal situations. Nowadays, there's certainly heightened administrative responsibilities on care providers, prompting consideration for innovative solutions. All too often, individuals become advocates in the healthcare space due to negative experiences. A collective commitment to improvement is not preferable, it's essential. So I advocate for both patients and members of the healthcare system so that we can all have positive outcomes and improvements. Thank you.
Wow. I'm going to jump right in. I want to say thank you so much for giving us the image of the horizon behind you.
Oh, thank
The
you.
horizon. It looks like Rhode Island to me. I don't know.
It is.
Right? But what is the horizon? It's you and your mother. It's you and your body. It's health and not health. And maybe if trust is sturdy and not delicate, it might even be you and the caregiving teams. So thanks for giving us that gorgeous vision of what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristin. When I hear Dr. Sharon talk about the horizon, it brings me back to her module, but it's very true, sort of thinking about just what's the end goal for you? What's the big picture, and understanding the complexities of just life that happen when you're thinking about care planning. So thank you for bringing that to light.
Thank you.
All right.